I have published a book on Ikigai in the year 2017, and fortunately, it was well received, and it has been published. I think, or is going to be published in 31 countries in 29 languages. I understand, and so I'm really happy to see the idea of Ikigai going over all over the globe, and so I thought it would be great to have a room where we could discuss the concept of Ikigai and its relevance to our everyday life. So I started this video series called Ikigai Room here. So as I said, in my community page of this YouTube channel, I would be accepting questions from you, and I will be discussing these questions from time to time when sufficient number of questions have accumulated, or a single really interesting important question has come my way. I will be posting this video, and we'll be discussing things related to Ikigai. Now, having said that, since this is my first video and in the Ikigai room format, and there is no question yet, I was just saying something on my own. So Ikigai is something that a lot of Japanese people take for granted. Yeah, we casually say, "What is your Ikigai?" and all these things. And before this Ikigai phenomenon all over the world, I think many Japanese, including me, didn't actually suspect that Ikigai is something special. So Ikigai is something that is deeply embedded in Japanese culture, and it is connected to many many things Japanese, and it was a wonderful surprise to see this concept welcomed by many people across cultures. For a Japanese person, I think Ikigai is something really, really mundane, almost every day. I mean, it's not something that would be inspiring in itself. I mean, people do talk about the purpose of life, like career achievements and grand goals, and something you would like to do in your whole life, something wonderful, something big, something that would make a social impact. Maybe you can start a company, or be a CEO, or be a great scholar, or a great artist, and starting from scratch, make a huge contribution to human civilization, like Mr. Elon Musk is doing. All these things could be a part of your Ikigai, but Ikigai is something more, small scale. So that's why I wrote in my book, The Little Book of Ikigai in the UK, or Awakening Your Ikigai in the US, that Ikigai is about starting small. You can start small with the Ikigai, and that is the beauty of it. Too many people, when pressed with the question of what the purposes of their lives would be, they start from the assumption that it should be something big. It should be something that would be inspiring for all the people. It should be something that would be on the cover of Time magazine. That is a wrong premise, because if you require too much from the start, then it can discourage you from taking actions, making the first move, taking the first step. And that is really bad for you. I mean, you can just start small. You can probably start from taking a walk around your house and thinking about your life. You might realize something valuable in your life, because starting small means that you would be taken back to your own childhood, because when you are a child, you would have started small, because a child makes small steps, and that is actually a huge leap for the child. when you first learned how to write your alphabet or how to throw a ball, that is a big deal in your life. It might not be a big splash for the whole humankind, but a small step for a child is a big leap in his or her life, and that is all that matters. In the human brain, there is this special circuit related to reward, and this neurotransmitter dopamine cause for temporal differences. So if you do something unexpected in your life, something that you haven't done before, that is sufficient to have the dopamine neurotransmitter released, and through the workings of the networks involving the prefrontal cortex, the synaptic connections between neurons would be more strong, and that would mean that you have learned something, that you have climbed the ladder, and that is all that matters. So, you know, in considering Ikigai, it is very important to make fuss about your small step. Yeah, when you are old, when you are older, you start to treat every improvements that you make as if that is not really a big deal. That is not sufficient to make you an entire different person. Of course, you like to be successful. Of course, you like to make a big splash in human civilization, if you could. But if you couldn't, that doesn't matter. As far as it is a small step for you. So that is why starting small in Ikigai is important. Uh, Starting small is very important because it is in line with the workings of your brain, especially in terms of the reward system in your brain, where even a tiny, small difference means a lot for the dopaminergic system. And so, if you make a small improvement, that is great. And another aspect is that you would be a child again if you focus on taking that small step. Ikigai is actually about keeping your inner child alive. If you can keep your inner child alive, that would be the greatest achievement of your Ikigai. And if you can keep your inner child alive all your life, then you have achieved something that is really, really miraculous, something that is really valuable in your life. No matter what your social status might be, however other people might regard you and evaluate you, if you have successfully kept your inner child alive with all its joys and surprises and discoveries and aspirations and small joys and all these things, then you are a successful person. So that is why you should really start small in your life with your ikigai. So that was my first reflections on ikigai in my ikigai room. And if you have any questions or comments, please write them in the as a comment to my entry on my channel community page. The link I put in the comments, description section of this video. So please leave a note or two if you have time. And so it'll be wonderful to have this discourse. In Japanese YouTube channel, I have been doing this for maybe 3 months now. This has been a really wonderful experience, because when people make questions or comments, they bring something new to the dialogue, and I learn actually by trying to answer these questions, and it's a mutual process. And what happened in the Japanese YouTube channel, where I have actually more subscribers than the English channel, is that
there will be increasingly a sense of a community, a sense of togetherness among people who come back and write on my channel community page. So if that happens, that'll be great. So I'm looking forward to your entries to the community page. I'll be responding in time in this Ikigai room. So stay tuned. Thank you.